And officials are warning people to avoid vaping and e-cigarettes, and this impacts a lot of people. Millions of Americans have tried these products, and we know that there are 3,844 vapor product retailers registered in the state of Washington, and the CDC has previously warned they can be harmful. They have this graphic posted on their website talking about the different things users can be breathing in, all the way from volatile organic compounds, ultrafine particles, heavy metals such as nickel, tin, and lead. And that's a big part of the reason state officials have this new warning today.
Today, we're reporting that we have identified the first confirmed case of severe lung disease linked with the use of vaping devices here in Washington.
State and county health officials today have a warning on e-cigarettes and vaping. They say an unnamed King County teen was hospitalized in early August, experiencing fever, cough, and shortness of breath. He was treated in the ICU and is now recovering at home.
We do know that this teenager reported vaping with nicotine as well as a saffron-containing product, but our investigation is ongoing and we do not know the details about the type of vaping device, where the products were obtained, or if other substances were also used.
This latest case is after the CDC reports as of September 6th at least 450 possible cases of lung illness associated with the use of e-cigarettes, spanning 33 states and 1 U.S. territory. Now, officials in Washington are looking back into medical and death records for other potential cases.
It's quite possible this represents the tip of the iceberg with respect to the type of lung inflammation and lung damage that vaping may cause over the long term. But we really don't understand the long-term health impacts of e-cigarettes or vaping at this point.
But little is known about the exact cause here. So in the meantime, they're issuing a warning.
E-cigarettes and vaping are not safe. That's the bottom line. People should all know and understand that e-cigarettes and vaping are not safe. Everyone should be aware of the risk for severe lung disease and avoid using e-cigarettes and avoid vaping at this time until the cause of the outbreak is known.
So as they are investigating this outbreak, federal health officials are warning that youth and young adults should not use these vape products, and if you don't already use them, don't start.
So, Michael, the thing is, these cases can be hard to identify, right?
Right, because they prevent as things that could be other issues.
Right.
I asked about that today because the way they figure this out is they ask people, what's your history with vaping? That kind of thing. And they said a lot of these cases could be identified as maybe a lung infection caused by a virus, something like that.
So interesting. Let's hope they get to the bottom of it. Do you think there will be a, pardon the pun, smoking gun, or do you think that it's just a fact that so many people are using this stuff?
You know, honestly, I don't know. There was some speculation today that something has to have changed that's causing this issue in all of these states, but it could be part something has changed, part a coincidence, part we're just starting to see effects of these. We just don't know.
Wow. Michael.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.